Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And if you listen to this is our Once More with Feeling series on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Today, Eddie, we're doing Season 5, Episode 19, Tough Love. This episode first aired May 1st, 2001. Written by Rebecca Rand Krishna and directed by David Grossman. Over to you, Eddie.
This is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan of Buffy, but Jared has never watched the series all the way through, and I'm trying to convince him it's worth his time.
Yeah, the plot is getting along now, finally, in this season.
Yes.
Finally, we're actually getting to the whole thing we've been building up to the whole season, Glory wanting the key.
Yes.
And her finding the key.
So this is the home stretch.
Okay.
So these four, I think they're like Tough Love and the next 3 episodes are all back to back.
Right, yeah.
And that's how the arc wraps up and plays out. I was thinking we should do them, like we should do maybe one of them as a double episode, but then I was thinking maybe not. Because there are very different things that happen in those episodes.
Okay.
So
yeah. One at a time.
They probably deserve their own proper discussion episode.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep. Feels like kind of rushing through it now. Just want to get over and done with.
Yeah, it does. We did have a big break, but we're trying to get back into it now. So yeah, these last few episodes play back to back. They have their own philosophies and themes that I think deserve their own episode.
Yeah.
And it is sort of probably the first time that it's really serialized as well. Like Joss doesn't normally do these back-to-back serialized episodes.
Yeah, it's just your Monsters of the Week.
Yeah.
A few days or months have passed between episodes.
Yeah, but even between this episode and the last episode, not much time has passed because you see Spike and he's still
got the scars.
He's still all beat, like he's still all battered and bruised. But you know what?
I suppose you could even go back to like the body episode. It's probably only been a week or something. These last few episodes, I guess.
Yeah,
almost.
not much time has passed. Well, actually, maybe a little bit of time has passed, but not a great deal.
Yeah.
This is kind of the catalyst episode to lead into the sort of the final showdown.
Yeah.
But I always find this episode very forgettable. Even though there are some very, very big things that happen in this episode, like very important things that happen.
Yeah.
I forget about this episode. It's never going to be on someone's top 10 best episodes. It's kind of one of those really forgotten episodes, and it kind of lacks a little bit of the joy and fun that...
Yeah, it was pretty dry this episode.
Yeah, it's very, very dry. I really struggled doing a lot of the questions because it kind of lacks a lot of the...
usual quirks that the episodes have.
Comedic moments that these episodes normally have. And you've got, sort of Anya going on about capitalism. It's kind of
that came out of nowhere.
As a sort of a comedic moment.
Mm.
So I guess it kind of lacks a little bit of wit. I think that's the...
Fair enough, yeah.
You don't feel the Joss Whedoniness of it.
Yeah, not much banter.
Yeah. So I kind of find this episode really forgettable.
Okay. So just quickly before we get into summary, so what was like the first time you watched it? What was it like on the rewatch now?
I don't remember watching it the first time.
Okay. That forgettable. Well, you said it, yep.
Yeah,
okay.
I said it's kind of forgettable. I honestly, someone mentioned the episode Tough Love and I was like, there's no episode called Tough Love.
I know every single episode.
I know every single episode of this show. There's no, because there was sort of this debate in a forum over how many principals there had been. And they were like, Principal Stevens from, everyone keeps forgetting about Principal Stevens from the episode Tough Love. I'm like, what did you talk? There's no episode of Tough Love.
He's not a principal. Is he a principal, is he?
Oh, no, you meet the principal of the school.
Oh, the dean.
No, not the dean. The principal at the start of the episode when Dawn is...
that okay,
Dawn is getting in trouble.
Sorry, I thought you meant that start episode when Buffy sees a professor.
No.
Okay, right.
No.
Not the dean.
Come on, I'm
Not the dean.
And my hands are so clean at this moment.
Okay, all right. Well, let's do a quick recap and get back to it.
Yeah.
We start this episode where Buffy drops out of college to take care of her sister. Ben finds himself fired from his job at the hospital because Glory has monopolising the body share situation. Taking a bath, Glory demands that her minions tell her everything they know about Buffy and her friends. Buffy finds out that Dawn has been skipping school and her grades have been slipping. Buffy seeks Giles' advice about being Dawn's guardian. Glory's minions provide her with enough information to conclude who the key is. In the dorms, Tara and Willow argue about their relationship and Willow's powers as a witch. Willow storms off upset that Tara doesn't trust her. Buffy talks with Dawn and informs her that Buffy could lose her guardianship of her. Glory attacks Tara on a park bench, believing she is the key. When she realises her mistake, she mind-sucks Tara's brain. In the hospital, doctors look after Tara while Willow plans her vengeance against Glory. Buffy arranges for Dawn to be kept safe by Spike in some underground caves. Buffy seemingly manages to convince Willow to abandon her revenge plans. Willow goes to the magic box and gathers dark magic supplies, going against Buffy's warning. Buffy catches up with Spike and Dawn in the caves, believing that she has convinced Willow not to attack Glory. However, a skeptical Spike convinces her otherwise. Buffy quickly leaves to go after her friend. At Glory's apartment, Willow makes a sudden appearance, casting various spells against Glory. Although she causes Glory some pain, Glory physically overpowers her. Buffy shows up just in time and they manage to escape. The next day, as the girls eat lunch at Tara's dorm, Glory makes a surprise appearance, tearing out an entire wall. Tara, in distress, unwittingly reveals that Dawn is the key. Into episode.
Yes, so we end on a big old cliffhanger.
Yes, she knows the key.
Yes. So where should we start with our talking points? Do we want to
can
talk?
Can I ask you, where are the Knights of Knee?
Oh, they'll make their return.
They do?
They return.
They're coming? Okay.
They'll return at the most convenient of times. I mean, and then do fuck all.
Right.
But be a pain in the ass. Yeah. I will discuss that when we get to it, because it's one of the big things that makes me fucking hate season 5. I kind of wish that they were not in it at all.
Oh, that is tough love.
Well, why don't we talk about the name of the episode? We'll start there.
Tough love. So I guess Buffy's trying to show some tough love to Tara. Dawn, I should say.
Yeah.
Is that happening?
Yeah, and Tara and Willow are sort of struggling with their relationship. Things
it's a magic
we'll do
thing,
for
isn't
love. It? Yeah.
The things we do for love.
Yes. Well, I might go in chronological order with the rest of these.
So can we start with she's finally given up in college?
Yes, which is what, I was going to say. I'll start with Buffy dropping out of college.
Just made it official now.
It pisses me off.
Really?
I just want to, I'm a big fan of season 4. I love the, Buffy goes to college.
Yeah.
I liked the college days episodes, and I kind of wish they continued on. Instead, they decide to make her a mother, looking after her
but at this point,
bratty little sister.
When was the last time we even saw her in college? This season?
Yeah, we've seen her in college this season, but she was they were on a it was during like the holidays, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dracula, when Dracula starts that first episode, it's towards the end of her holiday period, like the summer holidays.
So she wasn't at college then. So have you seen her in college this season then?
Yes, you have seen her in college this season. No, she has that episode where she speaks up in college and the college professor like pretty much talks down to her.
Okay.
We have seen her on and off.
All right.
Like she has been there. It's just that college hasn't been.
Well, it hasn't been much of a backdrop for the show anyway, so it's like why even.
It pretty much stopped. It stopped being a backdrop when Buffy moved back home.
Yeah.
So she's no longer, and we've seen we've seen Tara and Willow's dorm room a number of times.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of, it's that thing like she's like, oh, I'm just dropping out for now. I'll join back up later.
Sure, you will.
Sure. Seems like a bit of a mistake because it's obvious that her dad or someone is paying for that education.
Didn't even turn up for the funeral.
So it does seem like there's money coming from somewhere to pay for her education, and she's not. After a certain amount of time, I guess that's going to go away.
Yeah.
So
She's going to have to get a job now, isn't she?
Well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is she going to do? Exactly. Just be a
Steal
slayer.
from the vampires you kill.
Yeah. Pay for.
Hey, those guys are buried with like some nice gold watches and stuff. She could start hawking them. It's a steady income.
Yeah. Start stealing the vampire shit.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to do because you don't have to dig the grave. They'll come out for her.
Yeah.
And she can.
Yeah, of course.
Now that'd be something they could do in a reboot. She fleeces all their jewellery.
Oh, she just starts living by the want, take, have.
Oh, yes.
Lifestyle of faith.
Of faith, yeah.
Yeah. So the big mistake of dropping out of college. And if you've ever known anyone that drops out of any course, they never, ever go back.
No.
Everyone I know that has dropped out or, they've dropped out and they plan on going back, they never do.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Because it's also one of those things you couldn't take off where you'd picked up. You have to start from the start.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things. It's very difficult once you're out of that mindset. It's very hard to get back in it and pick up where you left off.
Yeah. And no one wants to start from scratch again. So, yeah.
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 So the other thing that's a big issue in this episode is Dawn skipping school. Dawn has not been going to school.
That little shit.
The little brat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Dawn acting like a little brat, being like, and not really taking into consideration that Buffy is still a teenager as well.
Is she?
Yes.
Okay. 19 then.
Yeah, she'd be
Okay.
like 19. And is now her guardian. They can quite easily take Dawn off her if Buffy isn't parenting her.
Yeah.
And Dawn, Buffy sort of has to put her foot down and be like, hey, they will take you away from me. Like child services, if they deem me unfit.
And she pleaded with Giles to help, and he kind of walked away from it a little bit.
That's the next talking point that I have. Buffy lets Giles know that she is struggling with the whole concept of being a grown-up. Like, she is really, really struggling. And she wants Giles to kind of, help or take over.
And he basically just says no to her.
Or help being a parent, like help her parent Dawn. And he doesn't take her seriously. I think that's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't seem...
He kind of takes it as a joke. As
Yeah.
if she's joking, but I think she's kind of saying it in a joking way, but she's not actually joking. And she, if Giles had have said, you know what, I'll put in and, if he says, you know what, I'll look at taking over being Dawn's guardian.
Yeah.
She probably would have been really relieved.
Yeah. Just needed some help. Need a parental figure because everyone's quite young on the show, so no one else can really, apart from Anya, who's 1,000 years old, but still in the mind of a child. Down with communism.
Capitalism.
Capitalism, was it?
No, she was talking about capitalism. Yeah, so you have Buffy really... And it is that horrible thing where she's already had to grow up so fast with the responsibilities of being a slayer. And now she has pretty much the responsibilities of being a mother at the age of 19, which is a lot to put on someone's shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now the next thing is Tara and Willow have their first big fight.
Well, it wasn't that spectacular. I mean, no tables had turned and wine was thrown. It was more of a, you scare me, what'd you say? Or
she kind of lets it slip that Willow's power and how quickly Willow is changing
frightens her or something?
frightens her.
Yeah.
And it comes down to two issues. One thing, Willow really does abuse magic. It's always her first go-to. Like, there's never any other option. Like, it's always her first go-to. Whereas with Giles and Tara, they have, like, this kind of respect for magic and they don't, like, overuse it.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort
of
a
dire situation.
Yeah, it's like a last resort. And, and Tara kind of has rules that she follows as well, whereas Willow's quite happy to break those magic rules.
And it seems like Giles has broken those rules in the past but has learned from them.
Well, I think he also realizes that the dark magic is extremely addictive.
Yeah.
And having that much power is
seductive.
Yeah. And you've you've very slowly watched Willow be seduced into it.
Yeah.
And literally in some cases. And her powers developing. So Tara's concerned about that, but the other thing that she kind of lets slip as well is that she thinks that perhaps being a lesbian could just be a phase for her.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a college thing.
There's a time and a place for everything, and it's called college.
Which I think can be... I'd say that that's probably a real... well, I don't know about gay relationships, but I'm guessing that when a straight woman suddenly becomes a lesbian, there is possibly always that in the back of the head that they'll go, back of their head that they'll go back to...
Go back and finish it?
Go back to men at some point. I don't know.
Yeah?
Yeah. And, Willow's very reckless with magic. I think that's the other thing. She's not scared of it the way that some people could be scared by it.
There doesn't seem to be that trade-off you have when you use magic in this universe. Like in shows like Game of Thrones, it's very, very apparent that that type of magic that you do, there's going to be a trade-off for it.
Well, no, I think there
3.
is. No, there is. Well, that's the craft.
Oh, okay,
times,
right.
Times 3. No, there is a trade-off in most of the magic that they do on this show. Normally,
okay.
There's always some kind of but I think that's the being able to balance it. I think is the other thing. But then there are some spells that do have horrendous drawbacks.
And your mangy little dog too.
All right. And the other big event that happens in this episode is Tara gets her mind sucked, and by Glory, because Glory thinks that Tara is the key because she's the newest member of the game.
Ah, right. Yes, that's
and it's a pretty horrendous scene where she breaks Tara's hand until it starts bleeding, and then licks the blood and discovers that it's just that Tara is not the key.
So she can just lick the blood. Is that a new thing?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think you should just go around punching people and just licking them, maybe. Well, she must, if she knows it's one of those people, just go up, punch, lick a fist. No.
Well, that's what she discusses doing after she's had Tara's brain. She's like, I'm going to rip apart each and every one of her friends until I find the
okay,
key.
So she was. Yeah, but do you think she could have found it quicker if she knew that? Is that a plot hole?
Well, no. She's only just, I think in the last episode? I think it was only just in the last episode that...
when Ben said it's...
Yeah, Ben said
an
innocent.
Right, yeah.
So she's only recently just learnt that it's
must
a human.
mean it's Spike because he's the most innocent person in Sunnydale.
Yeah, so it's only a recent development that she knows it's a human. And she's already... And as I said, in the last episode, she went through Spike.
Yeah.
And now she's working her way through Buffy's friends.
Yeah.
And so now poor Tara is all mind sucked. So how are they going to fix that?
Reset. Control V.
Mm-hmm. Which brings me to the next point. Is we have seen Willow use magic as, it's always her first source to solve an issue. And we have gradually seen her get more powerful and use it more often, getting herself in multiple, spell-induced issues. Like there's so many spell goes awry episodes that Willow has inadvertently caused. So she has pretty much zero respect for magic. I think that's
well, she just went hardcore
very,
into
very
it.
Reckless.
Yeah, just got the black box
And
case.
she went straight for the dark arts books in the magic shop. And I honestly think that this is where she gets a real taste of the dark power.
Well, it's quite audacious of her, wasn't it, just to go after Glory like that?
Yeah.
But
she was also really, really fueled by her anger.
Yeah.
So you sort of realise that almost the anger was controlling her. And the other thing is the arrogance. Her absolute arrogance.
Well, she knows that this woman's a god, so...
And Buffy is like, you're going to put us all in danger if you go after her.
Yeah. So don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And I think her absorbing that book, that does come back, actually. Is, as I said, the start of a dark path that she goes down in season 6.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of the real start of the addiction to that power.
Yeah.
And as I said, we've slowly seen it build, and now it'll go in the next season. It gets full on.
Yeah.
All right. We've also got Dawn and Spike.
Yeah.
In this episode, and they're talking about good and evil. And Dawn is saying she thinks she's evil because of all of the bad things that Gloria's done to people in Sunnydale, because she's there looking for her key. Dawn is feeling fully responsible for it, feeling like she must be evil.
Well, even evil's a point of view sometimes, really, isn't it? I mean,
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
So, she's not evil. I mean, she hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
So I think that
just
constitutes...
just existing?
Just existing doesn't mean you're evil.
Yeah. Which is what Spike is trying to say. You're not evil.
You're a little shit, but you're not evil.
You're annoying, but you're not evil. So then we get a big showdown with, Willow, Glory, and Buffy. And if you notice, Buffy's getting better at fighting Glory.
Yeah, she is, yeah. She's adapting a little better.
She's adapting to her fight style and not getting hit and managing to land some hits as well.
But it all seems quite futile, though, doesn't it? Like you're just punching a brick wall, end of the day.
Yeah. But at least she's not getting absolutely pummeled. I think she's kind of using speed and agility to kind of get around.
And she's getting better.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, Willow's actions do actually lead to Glory finding out that Dawn is the key.
Yep, completely dropped the ball on that one.
Because she went after her. She goes to that dorm room to get Willow, pretty much. It's like, you don't come into my house and break my mirrors and wreck my dress.
Yeah, no, that's the one that did it.
And throw knives at me and think that you get to
walk
live.
away. Yeah,
you don't walk away. You don't get to sit there and eat your sandwiches.
No.
Yeah.
I told you this wasn't over.
Yeah, that's about all I've really got for this. As I said, some big things happen in this episode. It's kind of a meh.
Yeah.
Episode.
Well, yeah, it's just like the intro, or the start of
feels like a
three-part act.
Like the catalyst. Act 1 of a 4-part act.
Yeah. So it didn't really conclude anything.
Yeah.
So other than that, shit is about to go down. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Had you seen this episode?
I think I've seen pieces of it. So I think Glory is sitting with Dawn and mind sucking her. I've seen that. That looked familiar.
You mean Glory and Tara?
I keep calling her Dawn, don't I?
Yeah.
Similar hair. And the end part where Tara starts saying the key or sees the key when Glory's
She's
there.
so shiny and green.
Yeah. Like I'd seen that before. So of course, like I don't know who these characters are, but so yeah, I remember seeing that. That's probably about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you go down any rabbit holes?
Well, maybe a little.
Yep.
Have you heard of a show called Star Trek Continues?
No.
Basically, a fan-made Star Trek TV series based on the original series.
All right.
I'll show you a picture of that. Made in between 2013 and 2017, 11 episodes were made. This is a complete fan-made show, and like the lighting, the score, the sets, everything is set exactly like the original 1960s Star Trek show. As I said, fan-made. So, like, obviously they can't sort of...
So what is it? Is it on YouTube? Or
Yeah, it's on YouTube for free. Yeah,
Okay.
high quality definition. Not a lot of famous people in it. We've got Grant Imahara, who was in Mythbusters, plays Mr. Sulu. He passed away recently, a few years ago, the late Grant Imahara.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Doohan plays Scotty. It's James Doohan's son. Plays Scotty. You have a couple of cameos from TNG. Maria Spritz, who played Tori on TNG. And Michael Dorn, who played Worf, the Klingon. So, yeah, you had a couple of... this is actually really a big fan favourite too. Like it's got its own little following, which I was quite surprised. I'd seen it before, but I didn't know what it was. I couldn't sort of work out how 11 episodes were made over 8 years or 6 years, whatever it is. And of course, we have Glory in an episode. The actress who plays Glory.
Okay, Claire Kramer.
Yeah, Claire Kramer played an episode, and Gigi Edgley from Farscape was in an episode. One of those rocking 60s miniskirts, looking very nice. It's actually surprising how well made it is. Like you would think that this was made in the 60s. Even the sets, like sort of those really cheap looking sets. So yeah, even people say like this is a fan of Star Trek and you don't want the woke stuff in it. This is the thing to watch. And people just good at their jobs and not being insubordinate or mumbling idiots half the time. So. I was just really surprised of how, like, I've seen a lot of fan-made, like, movies and, like, there's millions of Star Wars ones out there. And, yeah, some are good, some are just awful. But this was actually meant to finish the original series because it was meant to be a 5-year journey that they did and only did 4 seasons.
Okay.
So it was meant to sort of wrap that up. And that's what led me down to that. And I started watching an episode. It was actually pretty good. It is really good, and I highly recommend it. They're all for free on YouTube. So, go check it out. Star Trek Continues. That was my rabbit hole, Eddie.
Okay. Star Trek Continues.
Star Trek
was
Continues.
Your rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess we can... Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Or
No, that's it for me. Let's get into question time.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
All right.
Yes, Eddie.
Jared, which character was your favourite in this episode?
Glory.
Yeah, Glory. Glory has some good moments in this episode.
Yeah, the bath scene.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I have heard her tell stories that bath water was freezing cold.
I can imagine being there for a long time.
Yeah, in a cold studio.
Yeah.
I think they tried to keep it warm, but it was too difficult. So she just kind of had to sit in this freezing cold bathtub. All right. Mine is Glory as well.
Of course.
It's a very Glory-centric episode.
Yeah. Need some more Glory before she's gone.
Yeah. Okay. Which character do you love to hate?
Dawn.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep. LOL moment.
So back to the bath scene. Her minions had blindfolds
Yes.
on.
Do you want to know something? That's exactly
Oh,
what
really?
I have as well. As I said, this episode was missing it was missing a lot of wit. And so that was...
Glory brings the charm, I think.
Yeah.
She was bringing her A game. She's having a ball.
Yeah.
She's loving it.
I have a feeling this next one's we're going to have the same answer as well.
Well, yeah, go on.
Favourite fight scene?
Well, there's really only one fight scene, and that was Willow versus Glory.
Yes.
Yeah.
So...
Throwing out her bag of tricks to take her down. You just knew it was not going to work. Like, what are you doing? Stop.
She's a guard. What are you doing?
Yeah.
The last time you fought her, you passed out. Okay. Favourite scene?
So the scene where Glory talks to Tara on the park bench, like it's a pretty intense scene where she just comes up and grabs her hand.
Yeah.
And she thinks it's Willow and then realizes it's Glory. And the fact that she can't escape and there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
And she just starts crushing her hand. Like it's a real intense scene.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. There was real danger.
Yeah.
I went with Giles torturing the minion, but they don't show you what he does. He's like,
Oh, can you get that thing over there for
hey
a second?
guys, can you just get that twine over there? And then you hear this kind of weird noise.
You hear like a snap or something?
And this,
I'll tell you everything.
I'll tell you everything. Yeah, you don't see what he did.
Yeah.
But the minion starts talking.
Get the twine that's on the counter. It's time up.
I love seeing a little bit of Ripper come out.
I'll tell you anything. Please.
A little Ripper shows his head. What is your least favourite scene?
My least favourite scene, I think Willow and Dawn doing that rambling about math. Just going on and on, but trying to cover something. Just shut up.
I have to say the Buffy dropping out of college scene.
Yeah. You're just sad to see the end of college, aren't you?
Yeah, but she ain't going back. She ain't going back.
No.
It's that thing where you need something to distract you from what's going on. Like she's not helping anyone dropping out.
Well, she's helping herself because she's probably failing anyway. So
it's like the start of this. Yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. She dropped out. Favorite quote.
My favorite quote comes from Glory. Did anyone order an apocalypse?
For fuck's sake, that's what I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final line.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
All right.
Does mine come with anchovies?
All right. Who gets the wooden spoon?
I think this is going to be the same one too. Willow.
Yeah.
Dropped the ball. Fucked everything up.
Yeah.
So let's take this as I don't know what happens in the show, but I'm guessing she learns from this mistake, Eddie. And
well, she has Willow has a magic. What is it? Oh, hang on, I wrote it down. Willow magic tantrum.
Okay, all right.
It's a Willow magic tantrum. She has them.
Some people slam doors.
Some people slam doors.
Bang on a table.
Willow has magic tantrums, and she gets her black eyes and starts going all Hecate. Hecate. On everyone. Yeah. No, you're right. Who's the MVP of this episode?
Well, you always want to say Buffy, but I said Spike on this one.
Yeah, it's funny how Spike he really does understand human psyche.
Yeah, he knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And was surprised that Buffy let her go. Like, oh, really? You believe that?
Yeah.
No, she's going over there right now to take on the god. What else is she going to do?
Yeah. And then they're like, well, it's funny. Dawn's like, what if it was me?
Buffy's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Better get over there.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
Yeah. Wow, okay.
Yep. Funny how we're not normally this. We normally get a couple of them the same.
I think we've almost got everyone.
But yeah, nearly every single one.
Well, apart from the least favourite scene. Okay.
Yeah. So what do you rate?
Sorry, if we get this one right, this will be unbelievable.
Oh, okay. What do you rate the episode out of 10?
I gave it 7 petrified hamsters.
That's right. Giles and they always ask for petrified hamsters and then they're unhappy when we get them. Like, what the fuck is a petrified hamster?
Funny enough, I got a lot of hits when I looked up petrified hamsters.
No, I went 6 out of 10 bubble baths with mimosas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. So we have been on a bit of a break.
Yeah. All right. So but we're going to plow through these last.
Yeah, we're going to try to get these out. Going to try to get on a schedule and be real good and not let life and work and other commitments get in the way.
They can all go to hell. This is important. This is what matters.
Yeah.
Our podcast, Eddie.
Yes.
Our road to 200 episodes.
Yeah. And I need to get more content. Like, got to get more content up.
Yeah, it's all about making content, isn't it? Yeah. See, so many YouTubers like stop these days because they just burnt out. They just had enough.
They can't do it anymore.
I know. Yeah, feel their pain. All right. Any last things you want to add in?
No, I'm good.
No, you're good. All right. Do you want me to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope you've enjoyed listening to us today, or this evening. Hope you did like it. My name is Jared.
I'm Edwina.
And if you like what you're listening to, what do you want to say?
Well, you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. There's a Facebook page. And if you really want to help out the podcast, you follow the link tree on the socials to our merch store, which I might actually want to check.
So someone bought something you didn't even know.
I doubt it, but...
Oh, God. All right. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I told you this wasn't over.